Hi guys, welcome back, and this time around I am bringing you the full Cantor. Before I begin, I want to thank HIFIGO for having sent me this unit. However, if you guys already know me, that doesn't mean I'm going to have a special bias towards the IM based on that fact. I speak my mind, I always speak my mind, and if I like something, I like it. If I don't like it, I also say it. There's been very few times, and if actually I have to be totally honest, there's only been one IM that I've basically not reviewed because I just didn't feel that it was even worth going to the effort of doing it. Anyway, that's another story. With regards to the Cantor is AFUL's current top of the line IEM, priced at $799, so basically $800. It's a 14 BA, all BA unit. There is two versions available. There's the Starry Night, which is the one that I have here, which has this faceplate, and there's also the Marine Echo, which is with a bluish, just blue kind of marine faceplate. I actually don't have any picture here, otherwise I'd show you. Anyway, this is their flagship IM. In terms of the packaging, I'm not really going to take you through all of that. It's just, I mean, the case is worthwhile showing. It's a very nice case with a nice interior finish. The cable as well is also a pretty decent cable. Honestly, to be truthful, I've never really had any IM from AFUL where the cable wasn't any decent. In this case, once again, they've ticked the right box, and they also have provided with the tips which end up making the most sense to use because of the way that the nozzle has been designed. I'm just going to quickly jump ahead and show you, but if you look carefully, the way the nozzle has been, let me see if I can focus, there we go. Because of the way that the nozzle has been designed, oh my god, come on guy, there we go. No, you don't want to focus? I understand. There we go. Okay, because of the way that the nozzle has been designed, not every tip will probably be the ideal. I'm just going to leave this off now here for a while. So the tips that they have provided are actually the ones after I've gone through a whole bunch of tips, my KB Hero 7s and my Velvets and a few others. Those are actually the tips that work the best, considering all the excuse me, the compromises that have to be made. But anyway, in terms of the overall build of the IM, it's up to the usual full standard. It's a beautiful resin shell. It's all 3D printed, beautifully designed faceplate, like I said, housing 14 BAs. All then having obviously their specific range of frequencies that they are going to be playing with or playing in, and as well using something that we've seen before from them, which is a special maze, and a special acoustic maze, if rather, to enhance the bass performance. There's actually two BAs handling the bass. And this maze that they've designed around those two BAs has got a dual function. Or let's, I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. The way that maze and the way that those tubes of that maze have been designed, not only do they enhance the overall depth or the lowest frequencies that the BAs can actually handle, but they also serve as a means of, let's say, an acoustic crossover, limiting the frequency of those BAs from 10 to 100 hertz. Anyway, not wanting to complicate things too much, basically they use that acoustic maze to, as I say, increase the bass performance of the units handling the lowest frequencies, much like in the Magic one, if you guys remember. So it does work, contrary to what a lot of naysayers were wanting to say and said about the Magic one. And then coupled to that, they've also got the usual RLC network, then dividing up again the different frequencies for the remainder of the BAs, and as well in the BAs, sorry, handling the upper frequencies, the high frequencies. There's an additional anti-resonance, let's say, chamber to further clean up any possible standing waves, any possible resonances, any possible detriment to how the sound is thus produced. Anyway, oh yes, I've actually got a picture. Let me show you here the maze. That's the maze there that I was talking about for the lower frequencies. Okay, and as you can see, yes, it does have a patent number and everything. Anyway, the cable, as I said, is fine. Nothing, I mean, it's fine. I did try another cable, but I ended up just leaving this cable. I measured it, and it measured within those parameters that I personally consider are, let's say, the minimum, the bare minimum. The IEM, although it has all those BAs, it's not only well built, but also the weight that it has is perfect. I mean, it's not an IEM that is tiring to use or creates any sort of fatigue. With regards to the actual usage, the one thing that, yes, we will have to pay special attention to is the fact that because it's got this long nozzle, as you can see, it will inevitably kind of give you forcibly an installation depth that for some might not be the most comfortable. I personally, in the initial stages of using the Cantor, was like a little bit. It's not that it was uncomfortable. It was just something which I wasn't as used to as I usually am, to having the IEMs being a little bit more outside of my ear canal. But as I said, once I got the tips that actually came with it, the right size tip and everything, and I was actually able to then give it a slight twist when installing the IEM in my ear, it was then fine. It was perfect. And contrary to what happens, for example, with the etymatics, which I always have that feeling that I'm getting raped, I didn't get that sort of sensation with regards to the Cantor. So in terms of its, let's say, physical side of things, or of its hardware side of things, it's in my opinion what I would expect from a top of the line IEM, and again well within not only its price, but I think it actually is shooting above its price point. I think we've entered a stage in the market of in the IEM market where things are becoming absurdly expensive. They are becoming nonsensical in terms of the number of IEMs which are constantly being launched, and the majority of them are just copy pastes of each other. And the other thing which is actually also becoming something which I find absolutely ridiculous, because I don't understand how companies can actually end up falling on that trap. I can understand that they want to make money, but to do collaborations left, right, and center, when some of those companies actually are companies which have a proven record of knowing how to build IEMs, they know how to tune IEMs. I mean, I would honestly be very disappointed if ever AFUL made a collaboration with an influencer, let's put it that way, that that wasn't justified by the fact that it really brought something totally different to the equation, because that's what actually ends up happening. The majority of the collaborations that we end up getting are collaborations which don't bring anything really that special to the table. Many times what we are getting in those collaborations are just slight small retunings of the bass or of the treble, mostly of the bass. And you guys, I think, will understand what I'm talking about. The Mahina, for example. I mean, nothing against HBB, but come on, he knows, or at least he portrays that he knows what he's doing. To give just an extra few dBs, I heard the Mahina. I've got the Moonlight, the standard one on which the Mahina is based, and to be honest, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't. And the Mahina is just one example. There's a few other examples. But anyway, I don't want to rant too much over there. What I do want to say is that I'm glad that AFUL has gone down the right path, and have once again proven that they know what they are doing. They know what they are capable in terms of designing, building, and their track record since 2018 has basically shown that they're a relatively new company, but since 2018 that they've been in the market, and every time, especially in the last couple of years, since the advent of the Performer 5 and the Performer 8 and so on, they've shown that it's pointless to want to launch 3, 4, 5, 6 IEMs every month. Rather launch just 2 or 3 in the whole year, but make sure that they are really special. And I've actually have the latest Performer 5 plus 2, Performer 7, whatever you want to call it. And once again, I mean, I was truly impressed. But anyway, the review for that will be coming soon. Getting back to this and not wanting to prolong too much this review, I selected some IEMs here which are based on being really high count BAs. You will see that I don't have here, for example, the SA6 Mark II, which is one of my favorite IEMs from Duno. You will see as well that I don't have the EPZ 530, which is again another one of my favorite IEMs. I don't have here as well the NF Audio, the NE4, which once again another one of my favorite IEMs in terms of all BA units. What I do have here is what I've got here: the KZ, the AS24. I would have liked to have had here the Pro, but unfortunately I don't have it. I've got the AS24. I've got the Night Oblivion Butastur. I've got here the Soundrime SR8, and I've got here the AFUL Audio Neon Pro. In terms of price, the AS24 was priced at just over $100. The AS24 now Pro is about $124 for the one with the switches. The Butastur is $600. The SR8 is $750. And the Neon Pro initially was priced at about $550, then it went up to about $800, then it came down, and from what I have seen from their website, it seems that it's no longer available. I'm not sure about that, but at least I didn't see it on the website. This, as I've already mentioned, is $800. So the price here is kind of very similar. This is 10 BAs, this is 14, this is 10 BAs, this is 12, and this is 14. I mean, you guys will obviously be saying, oh my god, but Tony, why did you put here the AS24? Well, the reason why I put here the AS24, it's because, and again, let's put aside the antics and the politics and the issues that KZ might have, their questionable marketing, whatever. Let's put all of that aside. The reality is this: they are a company which they, when they want, and that's the case here with the AS24, they know how to make an IEM. And the AS24, along with the CCA Rhapsody, along with the CCA Hydro, they are good IEMs. They are well designed, well built, and they play well. And the AS24 is not only here in this group for the fact that it's a 12 BA, so kind of almost similar to in total overall number of BAs as the Cantor, but it's here because it plays well. Does it play like the Cantor? No. Obviously, you can, it doesn't take much to see differences, but it is a very competent IEM. That is the truth. It is a very competent IEM. I remember a couple of years ago when I wanted to wanted to enter the all BA IEMs, and I was asking around, what's a decent IEM to start entering the all BA scene and understanding what all BA IEMs are about and play. And at the time, there were a couple of BGVP units, there were a few TRN, the BA5, if some of you might remember. But when I think back to those IEMs 5-6 years ago, those IEMs, some of them very expensive, way more expensive than the KZ, they are garbage, really garbage. And if you like I did, if I had entered through those IEMs the BA game, I probably would have been kind of so disappointed that I wouldn't have wanted to progress. So I was actually lucky to have entered the BA game with the AudioSense DT600. And then I actually then bought a BA5, and I started buying some other IEMs to then get a better feel and well, you know. So all of this to say what? For a newbie to the hobby, if I was to recommend the AS24 or now the current AS24 Pro, which I've actually got the unit on the way, I'm sure they will not be disappointed, because the value for money is definitely there, and they play very, very competently. Anyway, jumping into this so that we can finally get somewhere with regards to what the Cantor is like in terms of sound. I will say this: the Cantor has joined that group of BAs which I consider my favorite IEMs. It's a mid-centric sound, so vocals, instruments, everything that is mid-focused, or where the mids are the emphasis. This does it beautifully. I mean, you take songs like, and I'm going to give you a few examples, and then afterwards, you of course can check them out in my playlist when I provide it. But you listen to things like, for example, Mr. Shower acoustic alchemy, and you straight away understand why this shines. It's one of those IEMs that when you listen to it from the first time, you straight away know, yes, okay, this is something special. But then it requires that you start looking for specific songs, which maybe are not songs that, or genres of songs of music that you sometimes listen to often, to then slowly start understanding how competent this IEM actually is. Angel by Dominic Miller, another one. It's another song where, when you listen to that song, and it's very much, it's a song that I usually use, you understand why this is so special. It's clean, it's detailed, everything is in the right balance, in the right amount. Even though that, like I said, the mids are the star of the show, there's bass in the right amount, there's upper treble in the right amount. Everything is very, very well executed, in my opinion. And you guys know that I've had some really nice All BA and BA EST IEMs. One of my favorite ones, which I no longer have, is, for example, the Tansiomini, the Halo, an absolute beast of an IEM. Okay, it's $2,000. Questionable if it's worth that amount or not. That's a different story. But the truth is, it is a phenomenal IEM. The Anoli VX, again, $2,300. Another phenomenal IEM. And if I have to be honest, I don't have them here to compare and to have done a full comparison like I would have liked. And take this whatever way you want to take it. But the Cantor is on par, and the reason why I say the Cantor is on par is, for example, when I reviewed the QDC, the Anoli VX, I said that the Neon Pro was on the same level and even surpassed it. Okay, and this was $550, $600 versus $2,300. So if I said that about the Anoli VX, and I now have compared these two, and I now know how this stands up against the Neon Pro, I can say that this will stand very favorably against something like the Anoli VX, without question. I mean, that is not even an if or why or will it. No, it will. So bass, and to just break down the whole let's say frequency range, be it something like let's call it here. Let me see a song. Look, let's just mention some EDM stuff. Let's just mention, for example, Eternity or Zase England. It's stuff that, like I said, you guys can afterwards check out in my playlist. Very bass prominent. This has got the right amount to do those songs justice. End of story. That's the reality. It does. Or then go to something like Timeline from Cole Harris Jr. Again, fantastic. Catch Me When I Fall from Rashaan Patterson. beautiful. I mean, it's got the right amount of mid bass impact to give that song the engagement that it requires. It's not thin sounding. No, it does it beautifully. So in terms of bass, it's got texture, it's got cleanliness, it's got the BA speed, and it's got very good depth. At times, even I would say that yes, you could say that it's got a DD there, maybe not the biggest DD in the world, but it's got a lot of that DD tonality, that DD feel, that timbre. It's there, it's got it. So bass is beautifully executed. The execution of bass, in my opinion, of the Cantor is top notch. Mids, I don't really need to say much. They are the top, the star of the show. Be it male vocals, female vocals, be it instruments, be it wind instruments, guitars, string instruments, anything. It just is a very, very competent IM. I will say that yes, the depth of insertion will play a big part in that. So definitely, if you do not insert the IM as deep as it requires, you might not get the same results as I got. But if you do, and if you are able to insert it deep, and it's not something that bugs you, and that you will be rewarded by a phenomenal sound. That's the reality. And then treble, the upper frequency, upper mids, treble, high. There were times that yes, I almost got the feeling that I had an EST. That's how clean, detailed, and extended, and the extension was effortless. At no point was I ever given the sensation that I was listening to purely executed BAs or poor, nothing. There's no BA timbre in my opinion. There's no BA timbre, no BA tonality. Everything just sounds very, very detailed and very coherent. The matching of the 14 drivers is flawless. If, for example, on the SR8, which also has 14 drivers, there are occasions where yes, you do notice some BA timbre. There are occasions where there is some not probably not the correct word, disparity. You can notice, okay, this is coming from here, and this is coming from there. There's some separation. That there's not that cohesion of sound, that marrying of all the frequencies in the perfect manner. And that's a very good IEM, mind you. The SR8 is a phenomenal IEM. In the Cantor, I never found it. I mean, like I said, I've had the Cantor for about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 weeks now. I've heard it extensively. I took my time in doing this review precisely because of that, because I wanted to truly engage with it, let it burn, let it brain burn, let it create a relationship almost, let's say, with the IM, where I really got to feel it and know it. And the Cantor in that aspect has not disappointed. So in terms of its frequency response and how it handled the different C frequency parts, top marks. Concerning now its technical capabilities, once again, perfect. I would have maybe made, and this could be just me again because of my limitations, or in terms of hearing, which I already have. I don't have the same hearing capabilities of some of you youngsters, but maybe a little bit more that feeling of spaciousness of soundstage would have been nice on occasion. But once again, let me say that this is me now nitpicking, because by comparison, if I'm going to say that this was lacking here, then on the SR8, then the SR8's got no soundstage. Let's put it that way, so that you guys can understand how I'm almost trying to find the fault here. So it's just me, my hearing, the music that I like listening to. It's nothing that I can really falter, honestly. Imaging again, perfect. I think the two standout technical aspects of the Cantor, I would say, are the imaging, and then the timbre and the tonality. Because as I mentioned earlier, it's the way that the drivers have all been married, and be this no, obviously this is the result of careful tuning. I know that the Cantor was in development for about a year or over a year. You know, you can definitely see that a lot of hours was put into this IEM in terms of its design. It wasn't a question of just throwing some parts together, giving it a little bit of touch here and there to make it all sound half decent and put it out the door. No, they definitely spent a lot of time designing this IEM. And it shows, like I said, the imaging, the timbre, and the tonality, definitely the two stand out technical aspects of the Cantor's sound, or technical capabilities, or rather, and then soundstage and resolution after that. And like I said earlier, with regards to soundstage and the resolution by default, this is just a minor nitpick, okay? Comparing the Cantor here with the rest of the IEMs, there's kind of, I'm not going to say there's two groups, but there are IEMs here where you notice that there's that more mid-centric sound, which is then properly matched with bass and treble, and then there are IEMs which maybe have got let's say slightly forward mids, and so there's that division of sound there, okay? The ones that have the more forward mids, I would say, are the Neon Pro and the SR8. They both are phenomenal IEMs, phenomenal. That's the reality. They both are really good, and you know, like I mentioned, with regards to the to the SR8, it loses to the Cantor in terms of how well the drivers are matched, or how well that cohesion is done there as opposed to here. You can definitely see that there is a difference. You pick up on it. It's not something difficult for you to pick up. I would say if you are using maybe something a little bit more clinical like the M15, you will pick up on it quicker as opposed to using maybe something like the Yuki or the Fire. That's my opinion. I mean, basically my sound comparisons here using the Fire, the M15, the RU7 and the Yuki, and I would say the Fire and the Yuki are the two that I preferred when matching with these IEMs. The M15 with something like, for example, the AS24 was really good, but when I used the M15 with the SR8, I was able to pick up a little bit more that BA timbre that I was talking about, while over here, no, it was fine. So that's where the SR8 loses out here to the Cantor especially. There are other areas where it will lose out slightly, but that there are more due to the way that it's been tuned than anything else, to be totally fair. And when you then consider it's basically the same price, accessories package, or the Cantor is the better IM. It's the IM that will make the most sense, even though it does have this issue, well, not issue, but does have this thing that you must pay attention to, which is the fact of the fit can be a little bit uncomfortable for some. Compared to the Neon Pro. The Neon Pro, as you guys know, I was and I am still ultimately a big fan of AFUL Audio. I have no longer continued purchasing their products because I just don't agree with the lack of moral efficacy that some of the people that are in front of the company have. I think they are somewhat ungrateful and honestly, anyway, but that's a different story. But the Neon Pro per se is a very good IM. As I said, it's got very much that Anoli VX type of signature, phenomenal bass, a really good bass, and that's, I mean, down to the usage of the Sonian BAs, which have been properly tuned. They could have used Sonian BAs and not know how to tune them, but no, they do know how to tune. That's the reality. They do know how to make good IMs. But the bass on the Neon Pro is really something else. When comparing the Neon Pro then here with the Cantor, yes, you notice that the Neon Pro has got maybe a little bit more mid-bass impact, but the overall bass quality in terms of depth, execution, smoothness, audio file presentation, this is a better execution. That there is like I said when I reviewed it, the Neon Pro is like you're listening to some professional audio speakers, some professional PA, public address speakers, powered by some really high-end home audio amplifiers. Okay, this is those same high-end audio amplifiers powering a high-end home audio speaker. Okay, let's put it that way. So the bass there has got a little bit more drive, a little bit more impact, a little bit more engagement, but the overall quality, when you really start, taking out the juice out of everything, this is the better one. Mids, upper mids, and treble, they've got different executions. Personally, I do like the Neon Pro's forward mids, which are very engaging with regards to certain genres of music. But I prefer the overall. I prefer the Cantor's more elegant, more smooth presentation. Having said that, am I now going to say, oh no, if you've got a Neon Pro, you must get rid of the Neon Pro and go buy the Cantor? No, they are two IEMs which have got, in my opinion, very specific crowds of people that they will please the people that want a more dynamic sound in terms of BA or in terms of an all BA unit. This will, in certain genres, maybe not be as competent as that, but overall, in terms of, if you, for example, like acoustic music, if you like jazz like I do, if you like classical, this is the better IEM. This does it better than that. You notice a slight lack of polish on the Neon Pro when you really push things, that they kind of loses its composure slightly. This is me nitpicking once again, but it does lose its composure, while here it maintains everything. It maintains everything always very well executed. Let's put it that way. The Butastur is the IEM that maybe then has a sound which is the most similar to the Cantor. And again, when I listened to them, when I went back and forth, I did notice that the Butastur had a little bit more bass energy because of the way that it was again tuned. It did have a little bit more that impact in the mid bass. But in terms of overall smoothness and depth, the Cantor slightly edged it out. Slightly. Not always, but slightly edged it out here and there. Overall, to be fair, very equally matched in the bass. Both of them, if on the Neon Pro, yes, that's got more bass, but you notice that it's a more forceful bass. This has got a bass which is, yes, definitely more forceful than the Cantor, but it's got already a higher degree of polish that the Neon Pro on some occasions doesn't have. Okay, you notice that this can go just rumble just a little bit lower than the AFUL can, so it kind of emulates the Cantor's bass, just with a little bit more push in the mid bass. Mids, again, very comparable, but the Cantor again does edge it out ever so slightly here and there with certain songs. I think the issue here with the Butastur, much like as well on the SR8, is that on occasions, and especially if you're not careful with what source you are using, you will notice that slight BA timbre here and there, which is something that I just wasn't able to pick up, irrespective of the unit that I was using to power the AFUL, the Cantor. I never picked up on the BA timbre. I never picked up on the BA tonality. Everything sounded always very musical, very correct, very. It's one of those IEMs that you listen to it and you listen, and the more you listen, like I did, the more I understood the whole design of the IEM. The more I kind of, okay, these guys, they really did something very, very special. The Butastur is got a lot of those same traits, okay, but just here and there, and it's not something that wasn't also noticed by some other people. Some other reviewers also mentioned the fact that the Butastur could, on occasions, in the upper mids and treble, sound a little bit grainy, a little bit less polished. It's got loads of energy up top, it does. Again, you can at times even be, I've got maybe an EST here, and you don't. But it ultimately doesn't have, I would say, probably the same scaling capabilities that the Cantor has. But definitely these two out of this bunch here are my two favorite BA IMs, without question. And these two are also two of my favorite IMs overall, of all the IMs that I have, without a question. Again, you got a Butastur, should you upgrade to a Cantor? Look, it all depends on you. Honestly, it all depends on you. If you got the Butastur, if you like the Butastur, if it satisfies your sound requirements, I would say no. On the other hand, if you feel that you want to have an upgrade, yes, okay, this could be an upgrade. Make sure that you do sell the Butastur well, so that you don't have to put much more money. But I mean, honestly, these two are really, without a question, the top IMs out of this bunch here. And then finally, the AS24, and the AS24, like I said, yes, sound wise, it cannot compete with any one of these in the sense of it beats them or not. But I will give the AS24 the following. If you choose your source carefully, and I would say that the Yuki is probably the one that the right one to go for, and you choose the right tuning on the switches, you will be very impressed by how good this IM can actually sound. Yes, you will ultimately start picking up on that BA timbre sooner than on the other IMs. Yes, you will also pick up on the not so coherent matching of all the drivers. But when you consider that this is, let's call it $100, and the rest of the IMs are at least 6 times more expensive, this will definitely be the perfect entry IM for all BA IM for someone that hasn't had an all BA IM and wants something which is competent, that can play well and can play well a varied range of genres of music. This can play well EDM, it can play well rock, it can play well R&B, it can play well jazz. Like I said, I don't care about the politics with KZ. Talking about sound here, this is a very, very good IM. The way that they've done it, nothing to be said. I would say that where you'll probably notice the biggest difference between the AS24 and the Cantor, if you don't have, let's say, experience, or you don't have such a polished hearing, or maybe have a good enough source, is you will notice that it doesn't have that extension that the Cantor has up top, the upper mids and treble. The mids, they are very, very impressive. The mids are really vocals, and they are really very impressive. And you will notice as well that the bass, this uses a single 22955. I don't know if it's a true Knowles BA or a copy, but it uses a 22955, which has been a staple for BA execution of bass frequencies for a long time. And the 22955 is a very, very good BA. But I think the fact that they've only used a single unit here maybe didn't work in its favor. The AS16 Pro, for example, has got dual 22955s, and when you listen to one and the other, you notice that in terms of the bass, the AS16 Pro with its dual 22955s has got that BA tonality and timbre which approximates itself more to a DD, while here you notice relatively quickly that it's a BA that's doing the bass. Let's put it that way. Okay. Again, this is me now nitpicking, because for the price, I mean, come on. I would have liked, and I kind of was hoping that when they did the Pro, that they would have used dual 22,955s, but I guess it wasn't possible because of the packaging to put 2 units inside there. But that's, you know, where the biggest differences you will notice for the more untrained ear is on the bass. You'll notice this is a BA bass, you know, and the upper frequencies, and they just, if you adjust the switches to get a little bit more energy, yes, you will get a high level of energy and a little bit more detail and better technicalities and so on and so forth, but it becomes more grainy, less polished and so on. But again, for $100, and if you don't have, if you've never heard, or if you want to enter an all BA IEM, trust me, the AS24 is a very, very safe option. Very, very safe. Honestly, there is nothing else that even remotely can come close to it. Nothing else. Nothing. And that's it, guys. I mean, what can I say? Cantor, they've hit the nail on the head once again, and just goes to show it's once again an IM, which is a testament to the company's philosophy, which is to design products which are properly designed, that are true. A true representation of their pursuit of excellence in terms of sound, you know, and like I mentioned, Former 5 was a phenomenal 1+4, is a phenomenal 1+4. The Former 8, 1+7, again, fantastic IM. The Magic One, a single BA, that, I mean, I just don't understand why it got so much hate, because it's so expensive and this and that. Guys, etymotics are equally as expensive, and an etymotic, and I've got the etymotics, an etymotic does not beat the Magic One, doesn't beat it, okay? And now, you know, the Cantor just comes and once again prove that they know what they're doing, they know how to tune, they know how to build. And you know, $800, it easily plays with the big boys. Easily plays with the big boys. As I mentioned earlier, I wish I've had the Halo. I wish I had the Anoli VX here with me. But like I said as well, having the Neon Pro and having compared that to those IEMs and knowing how that was able to stand up against those, and now how the AFUL stands up against the Neon Pro, I am confident in saying that this will easily keep up with the likes of the Anoli VX and Halo, and it costs a third of the price roughly. And that's it. I'll show you the graphs in a second video, but for now, I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say about the Cantor. If there are any questions, any doubts, or anything that you want me to clarify, please let me know, and I'll do my best to reply as quickly as possible. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I see that there hasn't been a lot of people watching my channel lately. I guess I'm at fault. I haven't done as many reviews as I usually used to do, but you know, you can be assured that when I do reviews, I will always give you my utmost honest, sincere, and unbiased opinion about whatever it is that I'm hearing. Okay, guys, take care now. Bye bye.